I can put you in. And I can put you in. I can put you in.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Hey, could y'all shut that door for me? How y'all doing? Welcome to the BHLC podcast. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I got a great show for everybody tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. The one and only Big Head Light Skin Comedian podcast, hosting Big Head Light Skin Comedian. We got a lot of stuff going on down here at 21st Germantown, the Borough Room 21st. But I need to go over a couple of things before I bring my guests in. And I'm still trying to bring in and having some internet light skin technical difficulties getting in. But thank you. And I remember here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and tell friends to subscribe to the BHLC channel. And y'all just tune in every second Saturday of the month. And I'm doing it on a Friday tonight because they got something really big going on tomorrow night here, which I'm going to get into here, elaborate a little more here in a second. So, but just want to go over a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to go over sponsors here. One of them is this place here, the 21st Borough Room. They got a great comedy show going on tonight, hosted by Aaron Donald. Doors open up at 7:30. 8 o'clock is when the shows start. It's $5 to get in. They got a great show for you with some great comedians. So come down here and get your laugh on. Also, this podcast is sponsored by Louder Than Laughter, which is September 23rd, which is hosted by yours truly. You're looking at them. So make sure you come for that September 23rd. Be looking for the flyer and advance tickets on that soon. Also, sponsored by the Smile Center, my dentist, Dr. Kane, 7405 LaGrange Road here in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, with all that said, let me give love to a podcast I was on this morning that I'm on maybe once, twice a week. They do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning on Instagram, called Mook in the Morning. Y'all check them out. They have a lot of great topics they talk about and everything. So make sure you check them out. And also, too, I wanted to talk about, too, what's going on tomorrow night here. It's a Pride thing going on tomorrow night, real big charity for Pride Month. And I think she's got the email. Good. And so y'all need to come down and support this. It's a charity thing. I think they asked for whatever you can give at the door, or either $5 or $10, but it's a charity thing. And it's kind of what we're going to be kind of talking about tonight a little bit. And she'll be elaborating on that too. So let me, I think she finally got my invite. I hope y'all doing all right out there. It's hot. It's hot here in Louisville. It is hot. I mean, I seen the devil selling Kool-Aid and Hawaiian Punch. It is hot. So, but I'm just sitting here texting her, and so yeah, I just know that that, like I said, that's going on too. The Pride thing tomorrow is, and it's real big, and Aaron Dollar's she's going to be performing, I think, tomorrow night too here, and have a whole lot going on. Just got a lot to go over tonight. I really do. But like I said before, make sure you subscribe to my podcast, BHLC podcast. Subscribe. All my Facebook friends. If nothing else, watch my podcast on my Facebook page, Big Head Light Skin Comedian LB. But I need you to go to YouTube and watch it, subscribe. Okay. With all that said, I'm still trying to get my guest in here. I'm waiting on her to accept it. I'm gonna send her another invite, so y'all hold tight. Everything. Hope everybody's doing all right. I know it's a lot going on in the world today, and just trying to get better at some stuff. So, and hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's staying blessed up, because I know I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm going to send this to her again. I got to send another invite to her. Just trying to get her in here. This is what I do. So hopefully I should get one of these. I done sent about 3 or 4. So, and I'm just communicating with her. I did perform at the Louisville Comedy Club here Wednesday night, July the 5th, and I will be performing there again. It's on 110 West Main. I'll be performing there again July 26th with some comedians I do know, and some great comedians. And I was performing this past Wednesday night and had a great time. Had a great show too. So I love performing. I love the art of comedy, and I just love making people laugh and making their soul feel better. So I'm just, y'all just hold on because I'm sitting here, and but yeah, so yeah, I had fun performing at the Louisville Comedy Club. If I get a chance, go down and support the Louisville Comedy Club. I don't think it's been here in Louisville about a year or whatever. And that was my first time performing there. Had a great time. They got great food there too, great drinks, everything. So just go down there and show them some love. They got some good food here too at 21st Germantown. So, they really do. Here's my friend Ed. Hey Ed, what's going on? I was trying to Erwin, get Erwin over here. Get Erwin over here. I want her to get on here and promote her show. You can promote it too. Hey, Erwin, come here. See, here, I got Ed.
Erwin.
I'm sorry, but I mispronounced the name. I did Ebonics, light skin Ebonics. I'm sorry, y'all. Let you do it. Let her promote her show down.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
All right. Just talking to the
podcast,
people.
Man. Yeah, we have a show tonight here, 21st in Germantown. We're heading out, hanging out. It's a great showcase. It's only $5. Going to start at 8:00, and we have some really great comics on it. Closing it out is going to be Jesse Johnson tonight. So always fun when he's around.
Oh yeah, he is, because I got him on. I think I got him on my Loud and Laughter here September 23rd. Very funny comedian.
Yes, very funny.
Yeah,
very
are
funny.
you hosting tonight?
Tonight I'm hosting.
She's hosting. I was telling you, it's going to be great. And I think the doors are up at 7:30, and it's $5 to get in.
It's
right?
only $5.
Only $5. Now, if you can't afford that, I'll give you a coupon or something. We'll get you in there.
We'll get you in there.
So
Thank
come
you,
out and get your
baby.
laptop. Okay, no problem. Thank you for telling the people that. I needed that because I'm still trying to get my guests in. All right. So with that said, yeah. So okay. I'm still trying to get my guests in. So y'all just hold tight. And I don't know if she might have to come. She was talking about maybe coming down here and sitting right next to me. So just really enjoying life and everything. I know this morning on Mook in the morning, we was talking about a couple of topics, and I think they was talking about, it was a topic about, it was something about Usher was singing to Keke Palmer, who's married, while she was in the crowd, and she had this kind of revealing dress on. And they were saying, should he have been dressed, singing to her with her husband there or whatever, and should she have been wearing that type of dress? And we had kind of elaborated on that earlier on Mook in the morning. And this is what I say: you do what makes you feel good as a woman, but also know if you got to get your husband or man's approval to wear something, you might not want to wear that if you think it's too revealing. But I'm not trying to tell you to be who you are and wear what you feel, because I know y'all want to feel who you are as a woman. So I get that. So I'm still sitting texting my guests. So y'all just hold tight. I'm working to get her in there. So I might end up calling her. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm great calling. Why not? I'm through with the texting. And so I hope everybody's doing good out there. I really do. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, so you having problems getting in? Okay, and it should be something where all you gotta do is hit something that says accept or something there, because people's been on my podcast before. You just hit something and it should just bring you right in here. I should see you come in here and then I add you in. So did it have anything to say where you supposed to tap on something with the arrow? You did, because I sent it again, and I'm gonna send. Huh? It hasn't. Yeah, I'm gonna send it again, because if not, let me try to do. I'm gonna try to do chat messenger then. Let me try to do chat message, because it wouldn't let me do it through chat message. I guess because you just now became my friend, but I'm gonna try it anyway again, and maybe it will this time. Maybe just needed some time. I'm sitting here doing this live on my podcast, and no people are like, what's he doing? Yes, I am. But that's what I do. No, it still won't let me. It won't let me do it here. Oh my God, what is this? Let me see what is this. No, that's just notification stuff. I don't know why it won't let me send it through chat messenger. Let me see something. And it won't let me do it through chat messenger. It should, but it won't. For some reason. I don't know why. I have to enter friends. Let me see. I'm gonna try it again. I'm just surprised you're not getting it. Well, you're getting it, but you're on it ain't. I guess the button you hitting or whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Let me go back and try this. I'm trying everything here. Let me see. I sent it through Gmail. It's through Gmail what I'm sending, but it's still email. And usually people get it. It said it was sent, so I don't know. But it says Madeline. It's Madeline.Spalding at LouisvilleYouthGroup.org, right? It came up in our fuzz. Yep. Hold on, let me see something. Open. Right. Okay, let me see. I just sent it again. I sent the message again there. Golly, let me try it through email. I'm gonna try to go through email, but I never really sent it through email. Here's Google. I know you said something about Google, but I will have to sign in, email, or phone. Let me see here. Let's do that. Let me see if that'll take that. Miss Brown. I'm still on this podcast doing this. Y'all hold tight out there. I'm gonna get it going here. Y'all just bear with me. Having some internet technical difficulty. It's around 68 at gmail.com. Gmail.com. Let me see if it accepts that. Let me see. Next. Yep. Yeah. Okay, let's see this. Back. No, that ain't gonna work. I know it ain't gonna work. I just signed in with Google. I know it ain't gonna work. I sent it again, so you still didn't see it? I mean, are you seeing it there? Still ain't. Golly, I'm still sending it too. It's just won't. You can't get through. We won't accept it, huh? Let me see something here. Open detail view. Okay. Madeline Spalding at LouisvilleYouthGroup.org. You got join me in StreamYard here is why I've sent all these ones. Contact details. Send email. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna send it this way. Yep. I sent it another way. Let's see if you get that. You should get it. I just sent it. You should get it. Yeah, to your email, Maddie. I sent it that away. Yep. All right, I'm still alive on this podcast. I know y'all just hold tight. But y'all come down here to 21st German to the Borough Room 21st. I got this great comedy show tonight. Doors open 7:30 and it started at 8. And Earl and Donald, she's hosting. So y'all come down here. And it's $5 to get in. I know you can afford $5. We're in a recession, but no, y'all can. Okay. I tried something else. So you still ain't receiving nothing?
Yeah, I don't see anything.
You don't see nothing from StreamYard at all?
The last thing I got from StreamYard was when I created my account.
Ooh. So you ain't seeing nothing. Oh my man, this is wow. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me try something else. Let's invite this. Interference. I'm trying this chat message again for I don't know why, but I know what I'm gonna do. Let me see. Try this here. Shoot. I'm gonna try a chat messenger. Maddie Spalding. I wonder if I gotta put a message. Podcast. Let me just put podcast. That's what I want. Okay, hold on. They won't let me send it that way. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. Search man. I should be able to do it. I just can't believe I can't do it this way. Okay. Well, Maddie Sproul. Oh no, it's still I still got Edge as a friend. One mutual friend, bigger. Okay, that's another one. Okay, I don't know why it's. Oh my God. I sent another friend request. Accept it if you see it. Maybe you got I think I got another page that I don't know why it's showing me with like another page. But I just sent another friend request. See if you see that. You confirmed it? Okay, so you confirmed it, right? Okay. Let's see here. Now let me try to message you. Okay. It's just acting silly here. Man, oh, there it is. It came up. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. That's what it was. Okay. And I just sent it through chat messenger. Did you receive it?
I got it.
Oh, yay. There we go. She's coming, y'all. Y'all just hold tight. She's coming because we got to talk about some Louisville youth here. She's coming, hopefully. I appreciate y'all patience. Took a lot of light-skinned patience. She's here. Now I can give her the proper introduction she deserves. Y'all give it up for Maddie Spalding of Louisville Youth Group. Y'all give it up for I'm going to bring her into the podcast. Show us some podcast love. Hey.
Hey.
It took I had to go into my light-skinned deep technician technology internet stuff to get you here, but you here.
Yeah. IT.
I appreciate you being a part of the Big Ed Light Skin Comedian Podcast. And I'm down here at the 21st Borough Room, which I know tomorrow it's going to be real big down here tomorrow. So, I start off my podcast, let me just say this to the people. I've been wanting to say this to the people. There's no right or wrong on my podcast. We just expressing ourselves, and there's no right or wrong. So that's my disclaimer. And we just trying to just express ourselves and our opinions about things. So that was my disclaimer if you're trying to sue me. So with that said, I always start my podcast where tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you Louisville Youth Group and everything, and who you are and everything.
Okay. So I've been with Louisville Youth Group since May 1st. I'm the assistant director of development with them, but there's no director of development. So I guess that makes me the de facto director. You're going to have to let me know if you freeze because it looks like you froze on my end.
Yeah, okay. And it'll freeze and you'll freeze and come back. It's just a bipolar internet.
Okay. And before that, so I've been with Louisville Youth Group since May officially, but I've done, workshops with them, art making workshops, and I did their empowerment camp, which was really great. Empowerment camp was where I got to hang out with some of the kids as a mentor, and along with another mentor, we were heads of cabins. So I got to spend some time with youth development, which was really rewarding. I still see some of those kids. They're still engaged with the youth group. So it's great to, build these relationships over a couple of years.
Right.
So as far as like my official engagement as part of them, that's what I do. I mostly have my background is working with the trans community, doing workshops with the trans community, and facilitating a support group. So when all this stuff in Frankfurt started going down with the trans youth and access to medical care, that was enough for me to want to focus on that because of my own experience as a trans person. So thankfully, Louisville Youth Group had a spot, and I was able to leave what I was doing and join up with them. We did a lot of advocating together, me and the Louisville Youth Group staff, while we were in Frankfurt on behalf of the kids. So, participating in youth-led rallies was a major feature. There was a really big one that made like national news coverage. That was the student group. We were there to help with like logistics, water tents, medical tent, directing the buses.
Right. Yeah, that's good. So the Louisville Youth Group mostly help trans and gay kids, or is it just all type of kids? Is it all type?
It's LGBTQIA plus youth
Okay.
are our core. There is a Q in there, so you don't have to like identify as any particular label.
Okay.
Because questioning, as long as you're there just like seeking knowledge and community, that's what we're
Right.
there for.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good for the youth. That's definitely good for the youth. So they'll have something to, and I'm sure y'all do a lot of positive stuff to help the kids out. And that, being in that, I'm sure you see a lot and hear a lot from the kids or whatever. I just, like, because I know I'm gonna put this up here. One of the main things, I'm just gonna put this up. Let's just talk about friends. I know it's them friends and the peer pressure of being in the youth group. It's a little loud here too. 21st Borough Room. So, but them having friends and peer pressure, I'm sure that's something too that you deal with them. Hey, how you doing? So, I mean, they have friends. Well, basically, here's really what I want to talk about. Let me get back to this one because this one I think sometimes too. This is one really is the bullying. Do you deal with bullying with the Louisville Youth Group? Do you deal with bullying?
We deal with anti-bullying.
Do you?
We definitely give techniques, strategies that our youth can employ in schools if they're getting bullied by peers.
Okay.
Recently, now kids are being bullied by lawmakers, and lawmakers are making it legal to bully kids in schools. So these kids are going to be bullied by teachers now and administrators. And that's a totally different thing. Being bullied by somebody in your grade, there's an authority figure to go to. But when you're being bullied by the state,
Right.
by your support group, your support network in your community,
Right.
What can we do to support these kids who are being bullied by adults?
Yeah.
Those kinds of situations, the child will never have power in that situation. So if it truly is an abusive situation, we can be there to at least direct kids to resources, to let them know about resources that exist in the community, either to change the situation at home in one way or another, or if they need to get out of their home. That's something else that a lot of queer youth have to work and have to deal with as a reality.
Yeah, I seen the other day on the news where they were saying across America, these hackers, they've been hacking into these young people's computers as well as adults too, hacking into them and bullying and other things, exploiting young men and women, and they just don't have a grip on it because they hacking them, and by them hacking the internet, it's kind of hard to get control of it. They trying to get a grip on it, but like the lawmakers are having a hard time getting control of it. And like you said, for the kids in the Louisville Youth Group, I'm sure the resources y'all have can really help them, stop some of this or help, get control of it, because it's out because they say they don't have control of it because of the hackers. So, and should nobody be bullied? Should no human being be bullied? Because we all human beings. So nobody should be bullied. And no kids should have to go through that being bullied. No kids.
Yeah. So you're talking about like exposure, like loss of privacy and safety exposure.
Yeah.
Oh, digital literacy is what we're talking about, and whether or not we address digital literacy.
Yes.
So the trans community, it's really interesting. Our relationship to social media is different than most people's, because for most people, and this is according to a recent study that I read, that for most people, social media is damaging to their self-esteems, their self-worth, and overall negative consequences. But that's not true for the trans community, specifically gender nonconforming people, because we find community online. So we actually we see mental health gains from finding community online. Unfortunately, with that, in today's social media environment, you've got things like Reddit, or you've got things like TikTok, where people are subscribing to you and you're putting out content. And the first thing parents need to do is talk to their kids about what's being safe is, because we can't control what they do. And they're going to put out things that may give away personal information. So,
Right.
Protecting them 100% in an online space isn't something we are fully able to do. Kids are more savvy though, also.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. They more
Yeah,
savvy.
and they don't get on like Facebook. We're not seeing our kids on Facebook. We see them on TikTok. We see them on Discord. A lot of our
Right.
kids are on Discord, so that's a contained community. So there's less risk of exposure that way. But when it does come to trans and gender nonconforming youth specifically, they can be targeted by hate groups and bullied, and the results can be tragic of that. So again, safety is the prime concern.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're an in-person group mostly. So, like, if they are getting bullied in an online space, we're in a brick and mortar building.
Right. Because parenting is important too with this, because I think it starts with parenting, and like you said, kids are more savvy. I had somebody as a guest on here that kind of works with an organization called ECHO, Exploiting Children Help Organization, and she was telling me, she said, you'd be surprised how savvy and tech savvy these kids are, and them being so tech savvy sometimes get them caught up in some things that they didn't mean to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always said, but then again, she said this too, and I've always been a very big advocate of this. If you got kids, I'm gonna say at least 15 and under, somewhere around there, 12 and under, whatever, you should definitely have control of their cell phones or things like that, so it don't get out of control. And once it gets out of control, it's too late. Once they into another thing on the internet, but you need to have control of their cell phone. There should be a time they should be allowed to be on the cell phone. You should be looking at the cell phone as a parent every day they come in, not just one time a week. That's what she was saying when she was on my show. She said every day. She said, because you got to remember, that's the only connection they have to the outer world and everything. So that cell phone is right there as the biggest connection, and we should check it as parent every day for real. And if they ain't doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but so here's a concern that I have for privacy of children, and this goes to SB 150, right? Do you know what that is? The legislation that's targeting the.
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
So that's the main bill, the Frankenstein bill, right? And the conservatives who are promoting the bill call it a parental rights bill, because the parents feel that they have the right to know if their kids are experimenting in any way or asking for like different pronouns at school. There's duty to report now. So if a kid comes to a teacher and says, hey, I feel like I'm trans, or I'm really struggling with these feelings, can I ask some questions? They have to report that to the parents. And for a lot of these kids in the rural parts of Kentucky, their parents may react violently to that news, or they may kick them out, or they may put them in conversion therapy, which can have horrible impact on someone's whole life. Like that practice should be banned immediately. So that puts them at risk. As a trans person myself, who would have been mortified had my parents found out while I was a teenager that I'm trans, I don't think I was going to ask you that. Okay. Right. And if this is where kids are getting their community and their education about these issues, I worry about safety for these kids.
Yes. Yep. There's a lot of hate crimes too, and the safety of the kids is very important. A lot of times you can remember kids only be kids, and they can be naive thinking they're untouchable. They think they're Superman or whatever the case is, Superwoman, and they just think they can't be touched. And some kids have no fear. It's not even about, they have no fear whatsoever, even being trans or whatever their sexuality, they have no fear. I get that, but you got to have some fear, because some people would do some harmful things to you.
Mm-hmm.
But what they said, and you know what I'm saying, because a lot of these kids, they have no fear. But but back to the parents that don't accept their kids' sexuality are the ones who got a problem, the parents. Because you have to accept the person for who they are. I've always said that, and you said, like you said, their feelings and stuff. So But first and foremost, I always tell people, we human beings before we anything. We are human beings before we anything, and that's why you have to accept them for that. I know some parents have a hard time with that, but so be it. And I know my father taught me something a long time ago. God rest his soul. He's been dead since 2006, and he always taught me accept people for human beings and not for their sexuality. That's what I was taught.
It's
And that's
easy.
why, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and I've always been like that. So, and he said, and he said this, he said, if you hate somebody's sexuality, whatever it is, he said, you liable to have a child become that sexuality. So watch what you think. It's, yeah. So, but I'm going to go into this one here real quick because this is another thing too, that they kind of, a lot of, I'm sure they deal with a lot of drugs and alcohol. That too, I'm sure the Louisville Youth Group, they deal with that too, don't they?
Well, we're all of our events are sober, except for our only 21 and over event, which is our Glitter Gala, and that's the only event where we serve alcohol. All of our other events are sober events, and they have a zero use policy.
Good.
While I've been there, I've never seen any events occur. While we were at empowerment camp, nobody had any issues as far as I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been a big thing where we are.
Right.
And I don't know what the reason is.
Okay.
Maybe it's because the kids that are coming are accepted at home for the most part, so they have support, so they don't need to turn to those things. I know most teenagers, when they're searching for identity or they're thinking about peer pressure, will turn to those things in a lot of circumstances. And I can tell you also that from the trans community, we have a higher rate of alcohol and drug abuse as a community.
Right.
So our youth are at risk of that. Amazingly, I've never seen that be an issue at any of our events. Right. So, I don't know if it doesn't exist or the kids are just figuring out other ways or, what it is. A lot of our kids also are very meek children. So they're going
right. Yeah.
to feel safe rather than try to party. They just want to have a safe place to go and make friends.
Yeah, I just know, and even young people nowadays, drugs and alcohol is real big, and whether in the LGBTQ community or whatever community, it's big, and it's something that's hard to get, to maintain and get control of. Our youth, I know, are into drugs and alcohol. Something that I'm sure is something we're working on as a country every day. So, and it's just something that we have to keep working on every day because drugs and alcohol are two things. Just not a good mixture out there, especially for our youth. Anything, especially for our youth. So, and hopefully they make better decisions. In all communities, make better decisions. So, I wanted to go. It's kind of what you were just saying. I was going to say personal freedom. I think that's really hard in the trans community to have that personal freedom because of how certain individuals may feel. And I'm sure you can elaborate a little bit on it.
Well, personal freedom to do what?
The personal freedom, just be yourself, because a lot of times people just be people, personal freedom is just like being yourself. A lot of times people don't like you to be, you can't be yourself, whoever you are, or whatever. So being personal, being yourself. And like I said, it's back to being a human being first and foremost,
So it's interesting. I've thought about this, and I'll be speaking from my perspective on this as a trans person.
Yeah, please do.
I think I know one of the reasons, not the reason for everybody, but one of the reasons that some people really don't like our community so much and just like have this reaction to us just existing is because that maybe they live in a confined life where they don't feel the freedom to be able to express themselves in any way, whether they want to have any kind of like gender expression play or any aspect of their lives. So to see somebody with the ability to do that and doing that makes them angry to not have that freedom, maybe for themselves.
Right.
Maybe they don't want to have the job they have, right? So, or the family that they have. Maybe they would prefer to be single, and so they see somebody and they project things onto us. Somebody out just like going to the grocery store and they think, oh, that person, probably left their lives, and now they do whatever they want, and I can't, and that makes me angry at that person. And anywhere in between, like. So I think that's maybe one reason why people dislike us so much, is because they see us breaking free of social constructs, breaking the social contract.
Right.
And they're not able to do so, especially in rural communities, very like religious communities. There's so many rules and expectations, and there are social consequences if you deviate from that. In these communities. So, ostracism is a major thing that people fear. Right. And it's easier to gather together as a mob and hate one person than to separate yourself from the group and be vulnerable.
Right. Yeah. That one is a tough one, but I'm just gonna go on to this next one here because it goes right into it, because I think this would be hardest to do as far as dating. That would be hard. I mean, to elaborate on that, because see, as I'm talking to you and as you talking, you don't know, but you're educating me on trans and all this. You are educating me as a person who just trying to so I can get a better feel of information about this, because like I said, I love people. I'm a people person. I always will be and I always have been. So, but dating, I'm sure, as a trans and LGBTQ communities can be, I'm sure, can be a little different, a little tough, I'm sure.
Yeah, my experience is going to be different than a lot of people's.
Right.
So that, like, the gay male experience is one thing in and of itself. And I know some trans women who identified as gay men for a while and then transitioned, and sometimes they stay with their male partners and sometimes they don't because they're dating a gay male partner. So that can cause a split because they want to be seen as a woman, and that can be an issue. And the vice versa for female to male individuals who were maybe dating women who were identified as lesbians. So that's one potential pitfall. Oh my gosh, there's so many. So my experience is different than that. Also, I've been married for the last 14 years. I have 3 kids.
Oh wow, great.
Yeah, so I don't date.
How old are your kids? I got 2 bad kids.
9, 6, and 3, and we're on vacation.
Oh, you running around the house. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I haven't dated. We got together when we were 15 and 16 years old, so I've never dated. Other people that I know who have dated find it extremely difficult. The question becomes like, when do you tell somebody you're trans? Do you tell them up front? Do you wait till, before you kiss them? Do you do you have to tell them at all at some point? What if, and there's also a vulnerability, if you tell your partner and they react negatively, violence is a serious concern for the trans community. There's, in like 23 states, you can still have gay panic as an excuse for murder. So,
I didn't know that too.
Right.
See, I didn't know that.
So Black trans women, Black and Latino trans women are the most vulnerable population. And as far as adults go, children are always going to be more vulnerable than an adult. But as far as adults go, that is the most vulnerable population. Okay. There are last year there were 229 murders.
I wonder why it's blacks trans too. I'm just questioning. I wonder why it's blacks. I couldn't just be Puerto Ricans. I guess I don't know. I guess that's a whole other topic. But.
No, well, it's related because there's. I hate to use the phrase because it's so loaded. Toxic masculinity is a problem because if you're with someone who doesn't know you're trans and then you tell them, hey, I'm trans, they might react as like, oh, I'm not gay, so I have to kill this person. So toxic masculinity kills trans women all the time. We had trans women murdered in Louisville this year. Was it this year? It was January of this year at the Swift factory. She was murdered in the parking lot by someone, by a man, and I don't know the circumstances. She was a refugee. Her name was Ashe. And so we have an event called Trans Day of Remembrance every year to remember the people who were murdered. And a lot of them are victims of that. As far as dating in a little bit lighter sense, because of the risks, there's a lot of trans for trans, right? So trans people dating other trans people is a really safe way for a trans person to date. Just on a number of levels. So like rather than deal with, oh my gosh, the things that some men will say to you on dating apps or send to you, they just stick to their own, you know, and people who understand where they're coming from. It's not a rule that they have to do it that way. I know some trans people who date cis people, but it's much easier to stay with trans people. So we don't have like a trans bar. There's all sorts of gay bars in Louisville, but they are gay men bars.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
These are gay men's bars. Right. They're gay bars for men. So big bar. That's a men's bar. That's not a trans bar.
Oh, right.
Gay bar, play. Play is as close as we get, but even that is a drag scene. Drag is gay males primarily.
Right.
So there's no trans bar where you can go. And it's so weird to be, men might see you as a woman, they might see you as a feminine man, and the opposite might be true for women. It's just, dating is so difficult because you don't know how you're being read, why they're dating you, what their interests are. We have things called chasers. Did you know this?
Nah, see, I did. So you still educating
chasers who will pursue us, harass us to date us because they're interested. They're just curious about our anatomy, and they fixate on one particular part of our anatomy. I call that a chaser, and they're a threat to our community too. So it's risky, and I'm grateful that I've been married for 14 years.
I heard that. I'm sure you are. Funny because now that you say that, my wife and my mother-in-law. I don't know if my daughter went with them, but I know both of them went. My mother-in-law called my wife and told her she had some tickets to this drag show. And they went. And when she came home and told me about it the next day, she said she had the best time of her life. She said, I loved it. She was telling me about it. She said she had a great time. And I forgot where it was at, but it was somewhere here in Louisville. They've been to one or two of them. And she said they really loved it, So, and they dance and all this. They come out and perform, these drags, they come out and perform and everything. So, but she said she really enjoyed it. And I'm like, well, good. I'm glad you had a good time. You know what I'm saying? And I just think, like I said back there again, you have to enjoy life, and you got to just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make somebody. Like I said, I'm back with people. I'm back human beings. So. And we are so judgmental in 2023. And as life go on, things are going to change. Life don't stay the same. Society don't stay the same. It changes. We have a hard time accepting change in life in America. So, but I just know I'm not nobody to judge, just for him upstairs. So that's what I always say. So, but it has really been great talking to you. I wanted you to probably, could you elaborate a little bit on what's going on here tomorrow at the 21st Barrel Room? Because I know there's so much going on tomorrow. Maybe you can enlighten the people who's watching what's going on, so they can come out and be part of this great charity for everything tomorrow.
Yeah, Louisville Youth Group is getting all the proceeds of ticket sales for this event tomorrow. It's being put on by Talents, who's doing all the booking. So Chris Hawks is the main booker, who's been coordinating this event, and it is the largest event that's ever happened at 21st Amendment. It's going to have live music. It's going to have a stage of comedians, a whole lineup of comedians. It's going to have, or maybe that's tonight.
I should be on that slate, but I'm going to let that go. So.
There are vendors from the LGBTQIA plus community who have been invited to sell their wares as part of the whole event. So there's an opportunity to come out and support some queer artists who are trying to make a living doing, their own work.
They artists. They artists. So I look at them as artists. They ain't not just they just artists. They entertainers. That's all they are.
Mhm.
That's what they are. And let me say something about the charity. You said so that you can give any amount. Can you give any amount, or do you have to give a certain amount? Or I mean, what as far as getting in tomorrow?
Ticket sales are $10. I think they're $10,
Okay.
but we will have somebody on hand to accept donations.
Okay.
So Louisville Youth Group will be there with our table. You can drop off some cash. We can take credit cards.
Okay.
We feel so moved, and that way, yeah, we would love to turn this into just a really successful event. We'll take it all.
Yeah, I hope it is because I just want to let you know too. I don't know if you know this. I have a BHLC production where I put on these comedy shows here every 3 or 4 months here at the 21st Ballroom. You know how like in September, my next show I'm putting on September 23rd, I'm hosting it called Louder Than Laughter. They have Louder Than Life. I have Louder Than Laughter, and I've been doing this. And then another 3 months after that, I have another show. But I always put these shows on here. And every time I do these shows, I love it because I have these comedians and I host a lot of them. Sometimes let somebody else host it. But I love it because every time people come to my shows and when they leave, the best thing I get from it is what they get from it. And they tell me they have a great time. They laugh. It didn't cost too much to get in. I have $15 advance tickets, $20 a door, great food, great drinks. And it's always at least 100-something people at my shows. Now, y'all event might be bigger than mine tomorrow. I have to see. But I always have 100-some people, and I will hope for you to come. You more than welcome ever to come to one of my shows. You ain't got to pay to get in. Just holler at me. I got you.
Oh, that's awesome! I love comedy. I love.
Do you? Oh yeah, you would love it. And it's just the last show I had was a pre-Father's Day comedy show, and it was on the same day as the Funk Fest they had here in Louisville.
Yeah.
It was sold out in right here in the Borough Room, 21st, and we had a great time. And most of my comedians were fathers. We had a great time. Everybody laughed. And that's why I tell people, it's great to come together and laugh and enjoy each other and put down all this crazy hate and violence, hate crimes and all that. Because this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I tell people, if you cut every human being, we all believe red. You don't believe black. You don't believe Puerto Rican. You believe red. So we all want at the end of the day. But everybody just wants to have a good time. And I know tomorrow's going to be a good time. But before I get here too, I gotta let the people know. Make sure y'all subscribe to my podcast, BHLC Podcast on YouTube, BHLC Podcast, and subscribe. If you don't know, get your dog to subscribe. Whoever, I don't care, but somebody need to subscribe. So also you can check me out on Big Head Light Skin Comedian Facebook, LB. But before I get here too, is it anything? Do you want to put out your Facebook handle for people if for the Louisville Youth Group, anything as far as the Louisville Youth Group, if somebody wants to get in contact with the Louisville Youth Group, how do they do that? Would they email or anything?
Yeah, we are active on Facebook at Louisville Youth Group, and then Instagram at Louisville Youth Group, and then you can email us, or you can go to our website if you want to volunteer or mentor. If you're LGBTQIA+, you can sign up to mentor with the youth.
Right.
Volunteer your employee resource group to come and do a service project with us. We accept all help right now. And we also have resource closet, and sometimes we take donations. So if you are looking to give a clothing donation to support the resource closet, you can contact us and find out what we're looking for.
And it's at LouisvilleYouthGroup.org. Is that it?
LouisvilleYouthGroup.org. Yeah, that's our website. And then just send a general inquiry straight through there.
Okay, sure. Because I know that I work around a lot of youths, besides being a stand-up comedian, I also work at my job. And I work around all type of people, all different types of walks of life, young and old. And I just never know who I might run into. So I might send somebody your way. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? They might need that help. And I might just send them to that email. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean,
where to put them. We have parent groups. We have mentor. We try to hit as much of the community to support the kids as possible.
And that's what it's about, supporting the kids, because they are our future. The kids are our future. We got to make sure we take care of our kids. We want our future to be right. Because with the way AI is taking over, artificial intelligence, ain't nobody gonna be around 50 years from now. So
Right.
we got to make sure we get these kids right. You understand what I'm saying? Because AI is taking over. I mean, it's taking over. So, and they don't care who you are. AI is taking over. But with that said, I appreciate everybody tuning in to the Big Head Lifestyle Comedian Podcast. I appreciate my guest, Maddie. You're outstanding. I appreciate you educating me on a lot of things, the LGBTQ community and the Louisville Youth Group, which is big. And if there's anything I can do to help your organization, please holler at me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. I'm about always trying to help because stay humble. Always stay humble. Stay humble. Beautiful things will happen to you. Blessings and stuff. Blessed and highly favored is what I always say to myself. So you continue to enjoy your night. And let me just say this again. We got this comedy show. It's about ready to start here at 8 o'clock down here. It's $5 to get in. Aaron Donald's hosting it. I think Jesse Johnson's the headliner. Y'all come down and support us at the Bell on 21st. And if you can't make it down here tonight, come tomorrow night to what she was just talking about for $10 or give something. If you don't give nothing but an EBT card, give something. But y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, Maddie. Thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast. And I'm sure I'll see you around here at the Barrel Room sooner or later.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, you have a nice evening.
You too. Bye-bye.